Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. So we are heading into the short holiday week, Thanksgiving. Markets are closed on Thursday, half day on Friday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's actually some big names. So as usual, things start off a little bit slower. Nothing before the open on Monday. After the close on Monday, though, zoom. So about 26 points is what's priced in. Definitely one of the bigger and maybe more potentially interesting names of the short week. It was absolutely crushed last quarter. That was here. Um, and I mean, it's really stayed broken since then. Actually, they called off the 5.9 deal, which also seems to have been weighing too. So, I mean, you can see just how far Zoom has fallen. And I mean, the option pricing, it's not cheap at like about 10% move, give or take, but based off the recent performance, technical setup, it definitely could be a mover. I mean, it'd be better if I could get risk down on both sides for volatility strategy, but if I could, I might slightly favor one side, maybe like the bull side after Rings report, maybe. Before the open on Tuesday, packed with retailers. So Abercrombie, which I haven't traded forever, AEO, another mall retailer. Best Buy is another big name. Best Buy's price about 9.25. So there's lots of retail reports. Not super interested in any of the mall retailers, but every once in a while Best Buy will have a move. It's coming off a good quarter in August too. Had a nice pop that day, but it's up a lot over the last few weeks. So this hasn't been this type of move has not led to like a good setup on other stocks reporting this period. So I don't think I'm gonna do anything with it. Also, Tuesday before the open, Dick's, so another big name. That one had a huge move in August after a blowout report. It's actually off its high, so maybe it has some room. I mean, they're pricing about 14.5 points, which is a lot. But I mean, it did have a huge move last quarter, um, and there's been a lot of good news in athletic apparel and um, I don't know. I guess it wouldn't surprise me to see this keep pushing higher ahead of earnings next week, because last quarter was so solid. Dollar Tree, so about 9.5 points was priced in. Interestingly, no Dollar General next week, so maybe you get decent sympathy play. Dollar Tree and Dollar General sometimes move together. Otherwise, it's probably going to be an avoid because Dollar Tree have been just parabolic. There's been activist news, and the stock is very extended. Option pricing's elevated, so it would either be DG for me or probably just avoid Dollar Tree. Analog devices, so semi name here. About 7.25 is what's priced in. Semi has been acting well recently. ADI is at a 52-week high, but it's definitely not my favorite name in the group to trade. Very mixed earnings history, and it really doesn't look that compelling technically, so probably just leave it alone. XPEV, so about 5 points was priced in. I guess I'm more interested in the Chinese EV players as swing trades to see if they can wake up, because obviously a lot of other electric vehicle stocks have been ripping, and these Chinese names really haven't. So I think this would be more of a post-earnings focus, depending on what they say and where the stock trades. After the close on Tuesday, you got a bunch of tech names. So Autodesk, about 21 points, what's priced in. It's knocked lower last quarter, and then it actually traded lower again on its analyst day, but it's recovered most of the losses. After that August move in the bounce, this could be a setup that sees a bigger swing. I don't trade this name very often, but it does seem like a decent volatility strategy candidate, especially if the pricing comes down a bit during the week. Dell. So Dell, they just split. They split at the beginning of November. It used to be $100 stock. Now it's 50 something. They're pricing about 4.5 points, but those are monthly options. It was acting strong before the split, and I mean the split hasn't really moved the needle a ton. Um, it's had a couple decent quarters in a row. Yeah, it's more of like a wait and see stock because I guess I'm not expecting a huge move, so any trade would be more like swing focused. And then BMW, so 7.5 points was priced in. It was officially spun off from Dell at the beginning of November, and it really hasn't helped the stock a whole ton. Last quarter wasn't great, and I don't know. There just really isn't that much that looks good on it right now. So it might actually be like a speculative bearish idea if I do anything with it. Nordstrom. So about 4 points what's priced in. Dillard's, Macy's, Kohl's all crushed it. So I guess expectations are going up for Nordstrom. Has a history of moving and has a history of gaps in the chart. So it could be a decent volatility strategy candidate. Especially if they really crush it or if it's surprisingly weak, right? If it's like surprise on either side. And then lastly on Tuesday, Gap. So about 275. It's one of the mall retailers that's maybe a little bit more interesting just because Yeezy line, it's out. It hasn't moved the needle a ton for the stock yet, but going into the holiday quarter, seems like maybe the bar is lower after the stock has fallen so far off its high. Um, so it could be a decent setup, maybe for a straddle or strangle, or maybe even like something speculative on the bull side potentially. Wednesday before the open, just one name really, Deere. They're pricing in about 16 points. So big industrial. And there's been a lot of recent drama with the union dispute, and at the moment, industrials aren't acting that great. So it's kind of a tough call on this one. Um, it's had some good sized moves in the past from reports, but mixed headlines. It's kind of tough to figure out to do with anything with it right now. So I might just leave it alone. See what they say, see where it's trading after. Because, if it's good and it breaks out of this lower range, maybe it has like a multi-week potential. On the flip side, if it's bad and it starts to slide, it could be like a multi-week breakdown. So I don't mind missing the first day if it's like means it resolves the range and I have more conviction in which direction it's heading. After the close on Wednesday, nothing. Thursday is obviously Thanksgiving. And then on Friday, half day, there's actually one name, PDD, which is a Chinese e-com name. So Baba reported this week, got absolutely smoked. JD reported and was up a bunch. PDD is pricing about 8.5. So is it follow JD or is it follow Baba? That's the question. And this week it followed more along with Baba, but JD is gone the other way, right? So I mean, could it surprise to the upside? Maybe a snapback candidate if it's like a really solid report. Um, Pricing's expensive at 8.5, but I might look at something speculative on the bull side just because it seems like sentiment is very low on this now. That's it. So, few big names, few big expected moves, and maybe we'll get some fireworks before the holiday on Thursday, right? So, if you like this video and you're looking for more information about swing trading with options, please follow up with swing trading or trading earnings with options, excuse me. Please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great weekend. Stay well. If you're traveling, safe travels, and we'll talk to you all on Monday.